Hello, beautiful people of YouTube, and welcome back, or welcome to Florence J. Tarot. It's been a hot minute, guys. How have you been? I hope everything's good with you. I have been crazy busy, which is why I haven't been able to do a single reading in the last few weeks. Life has just been crazy busy, but you know, I wouldn't have it any other way. And I don't know about you, but I have really started to trust the process and divine timings and just trust the fact that whenever it's meant to be, I will find the time and it will find resonance with you guys. So, yeah. I brought the sunshine today with my nails where I am living. It is crazy hot already. Summer temperatures since May. So yeah, I hope you guys have been doing good. Today we are doing a relationship reading. I haven't really done any of these. I don't know if ever, but well, not that specifically for sure, but generally not in a while. And today will be a deep dive into either your current relationship or your next one. So that ought to be interesting. We're gonna take a look at how you see yourself in the relationship, how you see them in the relationship, how you see the relationship in general, and then we're gonna do the same for them. And then, you know, the biggest weakness of the relationship, biggest strength, and advice, and then a couple of oracle cards as well. So it's gonna be long and it's gonna be interesting and fun, and I'm really excited for it. So yeah, like I said, it is not necessary that you're in a relationship right now, because there might be something just around the corner for you, and then in that case, this is a reading for your very next relationship. I'm just gonna speak in the present tense because that's how we manifest, you know, so it is. And yeah, so let's get this going. You pick a pile. You can either pick by the deck, whichever, you know, draws you in most, or you pick one of these pretty stones. We have the clear quartz, Aventurine, hope I'm saying this correctly, and tiger's eye. And I would just want to mention, only for the people this resonates for, if you feel drawn to both of these, then watch both of these, because I wasn't sure initially if I should, you know, switch the crystals. So if you're interested in both, definitely check out both, because there will be messages in both of them for you. So now, without further ado, pick your pile, pause if you need to. Timestamps are in the description. See you there. Hello, my dear people of pile 1. Warmest welcome to your reading about either your current or your next relationship. I'm just noticing that I can hear the street from here. I hope it doesn't bother you too much. And we don't even want to waste time. We want to go straight into it. Let's shuffle your tarot cards, which, by the way, you picked the Unfolding Path Tarot. I love this deck very much. It's very inclusive, very beautiful art. Can't wait to see what it has to show us today. First and foremost, let's pick a card for how you view yourself in this relationship. How does pile 1? Okay. Then how do you view your significant other in this relationship? I'm sorry, it's windy in here, so my door just slammed shut. Anyway, how do you view them? Pile 1, you have all the sounds right now. You get the whole spectrum of my neighborhood. Now all that's missing is the screaming children, but you hear the street, you hear the sirens, you hear the wind and the door slamming, you hear everything. Spirit, how does pile 1 see their partner, their significant other? Okay. It's getting interesting. And how does pile 1 see their relationship in general? Okay. Interesting. Let's see. Then, them. How do they see themselves? In this relationship? Like, what is, according to them, their role? Okay. Wow, this is a very, very interesting spread. I can already tell. This is gonna go places, which, by the way, bear with me if it takes a while to get there. Usually, as I go deeper and deeper into the reading, things start making sense and fall into place, but sometimes it just takes a moment to get there. Okay. How do they see the relationship? Okay. The biggest strength of this relationship. And by the way, if you get bored by shuffling, don't feel guilty. Just feel free to go ahead and fast forward to when the spread is on the table. Sometimes there's good shuffle talk and good input during shuffling, but since we're at the beginning and I haven't interpreted anything yet, that's not going to be the case. So don't be afraid to miss out on anything. Just skip right ahead. What's the key strength of pile 1's relationship? Okay. Then what's the key weakness? Oh my god, that's just bad shuffling skills. Sorry, guys. What is the key weakness of this relationship? Biggest weakness of this relationship. And advice. Piece of advice for pile one's relationship. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's start at the beginning, shall we? So, how you see yourself in this relationship is the Ace of Cups in reversed, which to me indicates that you don't feel like your emotional cup is being filled. You're feeling unfulfilled. You see yourself as just not being in your not being in a place where all your emotional needs are being filled. Yeah. So you're definitely longing for someone that, you know, fills your cup, that meets your emotional needs. And as of right now, you don't feel like you're there. You don't feel like you're in the relationship that fulfills you. And you view them as someone who has a very sharp tongue. By the way, here we have the Knight of Swords in reversed, which the Knight of Swords, you know, swords is all about mind, intellect, communication, and Knight energy is quite cavalier, is obviously more advanced than the Page, but not really mature yet. So they might feel like they have it all figured out. They might be cocky. So as of right now, you see this person as someone who is very intelligent, quick-witted, but has a sharp tongue, knows how to use it, but lacks the emotional maturity to handle it properly, to know how to deliver properly. So they're just being kind of insensitive to you, and yeah, I'm blanking right now a little bit. Like I feel a little bit like my mind is clouded right now. I don't know if this speaks about clouded judgment on either your part or their part, but this reading will definitely help you gain clarity. Don't worry about that. So let's take a deep breath together, recollect ourselves. You know, maybe this has really resonated for you and you're being a little bit out of breath right now. Let's just inhale and exhale through the mouth. Everything's fine. We will get some clarity for you. Okay. So you view this relationship as passionate. We have the Ace of Wands here, which is usually new opportunity for creative projects, creative endeavors, everything that gets your juices going, right? Everything that gets our juices flowing, which in this case, they might quite literally get your juices flowing and get you very horny a lot. You know, take what, as always, take what resonates and leave the rest. But so this relationship is definitely a source of passion. But with these cards, I feel like right now this passion isn't where you would like it to be. Is like misdirected in a sense. Like, you know, maybe you guys are creating fireworks in the bedroom, but when it comes to emotional needs and communication, at least from your perspective, you're not there with this person and your needs are not being met. Although you are passionate about this relationship and inspired by this relationship too. This is inspiration, you know? Feeling inspired to create. So let's move on to them, how they see themselves in this relationship, which is the World, also in reversed. And that is very interesting. Now, of course, the first thought I had is like, oh, they see themselves as the ultimate thing, you know, the world, your world. But I don't think that's it, because the World speaks about cycles coming to conclusion and serves as a reminder, first of all, that everything's connected, and that, you know, when one thing ends, a new thing starts. Like, everything's a circle. There's never just a line. Everything's a circle. Once one process is finished, the next one starts. And being at the end of something always, without exception, means you're at the beginning of something new. And that's really what the World is about. It's the end of a journey, but at the same time, that's the, you know, new beginning of another journey. And that's interesting because we have a journey here. Might be a quite literal journey, like traveling. Might be a subject in your relationship. But anyway, they see themselves as this, like that's how they perceive themselves. So let's see how we could interpret that. The World in reversed gives me like disconnected vibes almost. Maybe is like the resistance to move on, resistance to a surrender to the everlasting flow of life, not being able to leave something old behind and let it reach its conclusion. That's how they see themselves. They're not ready to let something end. Maybe that's your relationship, you know. They don't think this is the end just yet. Yeah, very much refusing the end of something and new beginning of something. And then we have, how do they see you? And it's this, the first thing that comes to my mind is free spirit, someone that is looking at new horizons, which, by the way, now it's coming to me. I feel like you might be at the verge of leaving them because you feel like your emotional needs are not being met. So, and they're being hurtful and tactless to you and immature in your eyes. And from their perspective at least, it looks like to them like your focus is elsewhere already. You're already looking ahead, looking for the next opportunity, looking to something new. And actually, this is not even the Two of Wands, it's the Three of Wands, which means action is being taken. I don't know if you already planned a travel, if you're physically removing yourself from the situation to travel, to relocate somewhere. And that not just being plans, but already in action. But at least from their perspective, it looks like you've already moved on, you know. But the way they see this relationship is very cute. This is the Page of Cups. Water, emotion, sensitivity, empathy. And for me, this card reminds me very much that no matter how old you are, you can always feel like a teenager in love with butterflies, and you know, find those childlike feelings of being in love for the first time, almost no matter how old they are. So to them, this relationship is very much something that they hold very dear. Like, it's someone that has like butterflies, someone that is fresh in love, but might maybe also, you know, lack the maturity, the emotional maturity a little bit to I don't want to say make it last, but they definitely have strong feelings for you and are very emotionally invested, but maybe lacking emotional maturity to see it through, to you know, have constructive conversation. So it looks to me like they might be aware of that, or they wouldn't be so sure that you are already moving on. It's an interesting dynamic here. So the key strength of your relationship has definitely to do with balance. We have Justice here. So in a way, I feel like you guys have the potential to really balance each other out quite well, because we have this emotional aspect. We have water here in how you see yourself, and water here in how they see the relationship. So I would assume that you might have a few water placements in your chart, you know, Cancer, Pisces, embarrassing, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Oh my god. I just blanked a little bit, sorry. So that doesn't need to be, that's just possible. Either way, it's safe to say that you are someone who is rather emotional, empathetic, and they might be more on the mind side of things. We have Swords here too in the key weakness, which it's very interesting that two cards came out in the key weakness. We have this Nine of Pentacles in reverse and the Ace of Swords, which we have the balance and, you know, the potential for it to balance each other out quite well. And then here seems to be almost a clash, almost like what can be a strength can also be a weakness depending on how you see it or how you handle it. But let's see, weakness. So we have the Nine of Pentacles in reversed, which So there's something about material gain, something about finances that seems to be causing an issue in your relationship. The Ace of Swords is about new ideas, epiphanies, new opportunity for new ways of communication. So yeah, I think with this one here and this one in the weakness, I would say that communication is definitely a weakness in your relationship, and that is something that if you want to keep this ship going, and that's of course also if this other, that's all only, sorry I can't speak, only if the other person isn't right about you and you're not already kind of one foot out the door, and you're really ready to invest the time, you guys need to figure out how to communicate with each other. And that goes both ways, you know. I don't know if you are properly communicating your emotional needs or if you just expect them to know what you need. If we look at it from, I assigned these positions, but if you look at it from an overall angle and we say this is your side and this is their side, it could also be that yes, you view them as this Knight of Swords, but you know, maybe you could improve your communication skills as well. That is just, you know, a shot in the dark, might resonate for some of you and for some it won't, you know, with a grain of salt, like always. This is a pick a card reading after all. But anyway, make sure that you sit them down and communicate with them, because if they really are like new in the relationship department, that really doesn't mean that they are young, like age-wise young or anything, but just inexperienced in committed relationships. That's the vibes I'm getting. Like maybe someone who has not committed before, and just have a lot to learn right now. What I can tell you from this card, from these cards in general, is this person feels very strongly about you. They're not ready to move on and let go, but they feel like you have already. So I think they are very much willing to work things out with you. They might just lack the tools to do so, and they might need you to lead the way, you know, if you're more experienced with relationships, because there is a lot of passion here. It's just that you need more, and you need them to communicate better. Maybe you need them to get their finances in order. Maybe you if you have been in a relationship for a while with this person, you feel like they're not doing their part in maybe creating something of material worth with you, a new home maybe, you know, you have hopes and dreams and wishes, and those needs are not being met because you feel like this person doesn't prioritize them. Yeah, but it really needs to be communicated. So make sure you communicate with them and you tell them what you need from them, and you teach them how proper communication works. Because here in the strength, the justice, that's really amazing. Like, you mirror each other and hold each other accountable. Libra energy, by the way, we have air again. It's very interesting. Air, air, air. Well, technically this is a major arcana, but if we take this as a Libra card, then it's air as well. Maybe they're Libra, or have a lot of Libra placements, or maybe you. There is definitely, while there is a lot of emotionality here, there's also a big intellect and a lot of passion here. It's like, except for the ground, I think your relationship is lacking groundedness, as the only earth card we have here is the Nine of Pentacles in reversed. That's very interesting. So to me it seems like, yeah, you have a whole lot of empathy and intuitiveness and emotionality and passion and inspiration, creativity, and also intellect here in this relationship. But when it comes to the tangible things, you know, material things like homes, house, money, sometimes, you know, just the physical things like having children or whatever, that is not really here. I don't know if you need that to be here. That's just what I'm seeing. But there's a lot of everything else here. So there might be potential, you know, to work things out. In the advice card, we have... Would you focus, please? The Seven of Wands in reversed, which just tells me don't be so on the defense. Yeah, so you have this perspective that they're very like immature and that they're hurtful in their words. That gives me easily offended water sign vibes. And I'm sorry, but I know what I'm talking about because I'm a Cancer, Sun, and Moon, okay? So don't take this personally. Just follow the advice if you can. Not everything is a personal attack. Not everything they do is meant to cause harm. They probably mean well. They just are maybe not very good with phrasing things. So make things a little bit easier for them in telling them how something made you feel. Because as water signs, if we're also not very mature yet, we tend to eat our feelings, have a very, very big emotional world that no one really has any insight to. But we just expect the world to know. And if they hurt me, it's their fault and they should know better. No, that's not how it works. You need to communicate too. They cannot read your mind no matter how much in love with you they might be. And that's very much for me a Cancer vibe, to just hide in their shell, but also Scorpio, like, you know, take out their little pointer and stinger and defend themselves. I feel like there is a whole lot of defensiveness going on when there's an argument or something similar. And it's not necessary. Yes, you need to stand your ground, but you don't need to be defensive, if that makes any sense. So I would say the main takeaway here is really sit them down and have a big talk about what you need, about how you see the whole situation, about how you want to improve the communication between you two. I think that's a really big thing for both of you, because while they might not be experienced with long-term commitment, I do feel like you have some work to do in that department as well. You know, that's okay. We are all ever improving. So let's pull some oracle cards for the final messages and conclusions. First and foremost, we're gonna pull some of these romance angel cards. They're really ugly, but they're the only relationship deck I have. So if you guys know any other that are prettier to look at, feel welcome to leave a comment with a recommendation. I always love getting new decks. Okay, come on. Okay. Some last piece of relationship advice for pile 1. Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. Okay. Religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Interesting. Now, this can be anything, you know, it doesn't need to be really religion. Like it says here, it says and spiritual path. So it might also just be that you're spiritual and they're not, or you're looking to really spiritually grow, and for them that's not a priority. So that can really just mean spirituality plays a factor in your relationship. Codependency, addictions are affecting your romantic life. Now, this doesn't need to be substance abuse, a substance addiction. It can also really be being codependent on each other. Maybe this belongs over here. That being emotionally immature, they might also put you on a pedestal a bit. And you know how, I'm sure you remember the first love you ever felt. We feel very, very, very dependent on this person when we're in love for the first time. So that might be a factor in your relationship too. But it could also be, alternatively, for the other half of you, that you are making your happiness and joy too dependent on them. You have to do your shit. Like, you have to free yourself of the codependency. Yeah, I think this message was for you. You have to free yourself of this codependency of them. Like, find your own joy, do your own shit, go travel if you want to, do the things, whatever your heart calls you to, whatever your intuition calls you to do, do it. Do what makes you happy. Create. Whatever you want to do, man, just do it. Because that will make you happy, not them. Don't look in your fulfillment within them. Whether they meet your emotional needs or not should not determine whether you're happy or not. You should fill your own cup. That really is your job to do. You have to fill your own cup. And once you do that, they either tag along, they either catch up with you, or they will fall away because you're no longer tolerating it and you're moving on. Either way, you're going to be happier. So you start prioritizing yourself, filling your own cup, and do what makes you happy. And like I said, either your relationship with them will improve too, and we're all happy and yay, or they don't, and you move on. And you're going to be fine either way because you have been filling your own cup to begin with. Playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirits of fun to shine. Okay, yeah, have fun. It's not all so serious, my love. Really. Yeah, look at this. Free yourself. Be playful. An addiction or codependency is affecting your romantic life. Is there something else that needs to be known? Then this is the last opportunity. Heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Thank you. I love this type of confirmation from your higher selves. This is just exactly what I've been telling you this entire time, and I'm really happy this came out as second confirmation. Now you can really believe me that I haven't been full of shit. Last card of relationship advice. Soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Okay. You know, take this with a grain of salt. I don't really like statements like that in general because every person in our life is our soulmate. Every person we meet in our life we have contracts with, soul contracts with. Every person we meet is meant to bring us forward in our spiritual growth. So I think this just serves as a reminder that you are exactly where you're meant to be, and you're learning exactly what you're meant to learn with this person. It's not a mistake that you're with them. You're not wasting your time. Everything is good. This is bringing you a lot of spiritual growth. And of course, it has the potential to have a happy ending, but I don't think that's the focus here. I think it's really important for me to just tell you, this is a soul that you know. Like every soul you encounter that has an impact in your life is a soul that you know and is a soul that you have a contract with. So go with the experience and take away from it what you need to take away from, and then move on if you need to. A few more tea leaves, which I have a rule for. I only take them if they turn around because so many always come out. See, a lot of them come out, not all of them turn around, so that is the rule we go with. 2 tea leaves had to fall to the ground, which makes it impossible to pick up with my nails. Okay, so we have May here, which might be a significant month for you or your partner. Maybe one of your birthdays is in May. Maybe you met in May. Yeah. If this is in the future, I always say also with future predictions and time frames, take it with a grain of salt, because everything you see here on the table is always a potential based on your current energy. So yes, it could also be that next May is when something significant happens, like a breakup, like an engagement, like the birth of a child, you know. But it doesn't need to be, because you make decisions, they make decisions. That keeps changing constantly. So yeah, May is of some importance. Then we have the moon, changes in your life. I also find it very fitting that we have the moon here. When I mentioned Cancer, you really might be a Cancer or feel quite Cancerian. Carriage, a journey, either physical or mental. Wow, this is the, what, third time? Is it the third time I say journey? I said journey here and here and here. Have you been wanting to travel and holding back? Is this causing some tumult? Do you say tumult in English? Sorry, I'm not native. Is this causing some nervousness, some tension in your relationship, that you want to travel and because they're codependent, they don't want to let you go, or something like that? Because if that's the case, you do not hold back because of someone else. Free yourself. Free yourself from that codependency. Yes. So yeah. Yes. Oh, I love it when it all falls together. To them, it's like you have moved on from the relationship because you are journey bound. You want to travel, you want to see the world, and them being inexperienced in relationships, they think this is the end of the world and this is the end of the relationship, which it doesn't need to be. This is about you. This is about your spiritual growth. This is about your needs, and you just want to have fun in your life and experience things. Maybe you're gonna start your journey next May. Might be a big travel that requires a lot of preparation, you know, like if you go traveling for a month and you have to plan the route, the itinerary. So it takes a while to get there. Well, I mean, it depends on when you find this video, really. We are filming this. I am filming this in June of 2023, but it could be that you find this video months or years later. So it doesn't really matter. This is timeless. It might be based on your current energy that that big journey of yours starts in May, and it will be life-changing. Truly. There's a new phase in your life, new season. And you know, that's all right. It's the moon reminds us that everything that everything comes in cycles, and sometimes the cycle of something is over. And your partner is in resistance of that. Your partner does not want to let go. Your partner does not want to accept that not everything is meant to last forever. But that doesn't even mean necessarily a relationship. That can just mean that your relationship's gonna change. Doesn't mean it's gonna end. It just means it will change. It will change inevitably, because that journey will change you. Being physically separated changes the dynamic of a relationship, but that doesn't mean that it can't be wonderful either way. But definitely those deep heart-to-heart conversations are required now. Like, you can no longer keep to yourself what you need, what your song longs for, aches for. You know, maybe they're lacking the funds to join you. Maybe they cannot afford to join you in this journey, but that cannot hold you back, because you're doing it for yourself and not for your relationship. And you have to do it for yourself and for nothing and no one else. Yeah. Wow, this really was super fun and interesting to do. Thank you so much, Pile One. I really hope you got what you received what you came for. I wish you all the best for this conversation. Conversations like that are never easy, but they're so worth it, because afterwards you're gonna feel so relieved, like a huge load is off your shoulders, because you're not carrying it around with yourself anymore. Be true to yourself, honor yourself and your needs. Yeah, there's nothing else to say, my dear friends of Pile One. I send you all the love and happiness and joy and adventure and excitement, sunshine, moonstone, by the way. I hope to see you around again. Please do subscribe if you liked this. And even more important, what I love even more, comments. Please tell me if this resonated. Tell me about your story. Share it with me. I just love your feedback. It honestly makes my day every time. So yeah, do share, do give feedback, and any interaction we have really helps my channel. I'm still at the beginning of my YouTube tarot journey as well. So yeah, comment, like, subscribe, hit me up personally too. If you ever feel like you want to have a personal reading, you can find my email address in the video and channel description. I'm available for that if you ever have the means to or feel the need to. And I will just love to hear from you in any way. I love to connect. Yeah. Anyway, all the best, love and light, blessings, and mwah. See you around. Bye bye. Hello, blessed people of Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. I'm very excited to get into it. Pile 1 was really cool, so I'm looking forward to what you have for me today. We are going to take a deep dive into your current relationship or relationship in the immediate future. So yeah, let's get started right away. We're going to start with how you see yourself in this relationship. We're going to start with you. So let's see how you see yourself in this relationship. Who are you? What do you bring to this union? What is the role you play? Pile 1. How are my dear people of Pile 1 showing up? And if you don't want to watch the shuffling, go right ahead and fast forward. Don't feel guilty about it. I do it for the people who like to see it and the ones who don't want to see it, like me. I'm quite impatient. Don't feel guilty. Go right ahead. Okay. We have the Five of Pentacles in reverse, which is already telling me that you have a lack mentality in this relationship. Off to a strong start here, pile 2. Then, how you see them. How do you see your partner, your significant other? Wow. We have the Death card, Major. And no, that doesn't mean you see them as your death. Death is a card of major transformation. It's a major arcana card too. So wow, we are really off to a strong start here. I can't wait to see more. How you view the relationship. How do you see this relationship, pile 2? Because this is some intense shit already. 3 cards want to come out. I'm not gonna do this. Dear pile 2, higher selves of pile 2, I need 1 card. 2 tops, but I'm not doing 3. The reading is long enough. Okay. Why? Look, it's 3 again. I'm gonna try once more. How do you see the relationship? Oh, wow. 8 of Swords. Feeling tied down. Feeling unable to move. Wow, pile 2, intense. Glad you made your way here. It's oughta stay interesting. Then let's take a look at them, how they see themselves or what they're bringing to this union. Who are they? How do they perceive themselves inside this relationship? The 9 of Wands. Someone who has overcome quite a lot and is stronger for it and knows how to create boundaries. Okay. How do they perceive you? How do the partners of pile 2 perceive pile 2? How is pile 2 perceived by their partner? 2 cards, okay. Your higher self has a lot to say about the situation. We have the 9 of Cups in reversed and 5 of Wands. And so this gives me the indication that you're someone who's quite pessimistic, who doesn't know how to count their blessings. And there's a lot of chaos and tension, disorganization, and yeah, just tension, fights. What's the word I'm looking for? The opposite of peace. Disharmony. Okay. There's a lot going on in your relationship. How they view the relationship. What's coming to me right now is that they see you as someone who's just looking for the next fight, who's just looking for reasons to fight. How they see the relationship. The feeling that I'm getting, well, I guess I'm keeping that one for myself until I have more information. How they see the relationship. Come on. Don't want to tell me? Several cards again. That's just insane. Like, Spirit not holding back today. 9 of Swords and 6 of Wands, which this is success and triumph, while this is anxiety, insomnia, sleepless nights, nightmares. Quite miserable. Okay. Interesting. Then, what is the key strength of this relationship? That was very quick. The Fool. The openness of someone who is just starting their journey. Like, the Fool energy is someone who is just starting a new journey and who is still very, very, like, who's very excited about it. Like, what I'm getting right now is like free spirit, but also, you know, not yet tainted by... Right now, all I want to say is new beginning, to be honest. Like, yeah. I'm gonna get back to this one. Then the key weakness of this relationship between you two. You wanted to come. I saw you. Strength. Strength and compassion. This one wants to come out really bad too. Justice, but in reverse. No, not justice. I'm wrong. King of Swords, but in reversed. And strength. I have so many cards here, man. I didn't sign up for this. Yeah. Finding strength and vulnerability and softness. Like not forcing things. That is a weakness of this relationship, is like you guys are maybe trying to force it too much. And the King of Swords in reversed is indicating to me that there are a lot of harsh words that cut very deep between you guys. There's an aspect of intellect here, but I feel like it's being used against each other in a non-constructive way. And maybe one of you, maybe them, I don't know which of you it is asserting their dominance in a way that is not constructive, that is harmful. Just, yeah, harshness. There's a lot of harshness here because, you know, this is in the weakness. So there doesn't seem to be an ability to Lead with love. Yeah. I'm gonna go into detail in just a bit when we have the last card here, which is advice. Oh, wow. The World. This is very interesting. I had a couple similar cards in the previous one. If that tells you to watch the pile 1 video, then go ahead and do so. The World. A cycle coming to its completion. End of a cycle, really. And that's an advice. So I think you already see where this is going, but yeah. Let's get into the details of all this. So first and foremost, you. The way you see yourself right now is a state of poverty, really. I feel like you, and this is gonna sound mean, but you're feeling quite sorry for yourself at the moment, because the five of Pentacles is a card of material poverty, material loss, yes, but it also speaks of a lack mentality, really. And I feel like you're really giving into that at the moment. Like you cannot see the forest for its trees, because the Five of Pentacles speaks all about perspective, perception. Because if you look at this card very closely, yes, they're out in the cold, they're injured, they're poor, but the church lights are on, which means the church's doors are open. They could go inside, but they choose not to because they're so focused in a different direction. I just sounded French, focused. Sorry if you're French. I live in Switzerland, so, you know. Anyway, back to the reading. Yeah. They're so focused in the other direction and so focused on what they're lacking and so focused on their suffering that they can't see that the warmth is just a few feet or meters, whatever you're measuring, just a few feet away. All it would take is to turn around and go inside. But yeah, this is reversed. So you're in a really, really bad state of mind right now. You're really not feeling good, and you feel like you're missing out. You feel like you're lacking in some way. And the way you feel about them, the way you see them is very intense. Looking at the context of this reading, you know, death is, like I said, a major arcana card. It speaks about transformation, and it's really more about rebirth than like being stabbed to death or anything. Taking this into consideration, I could say that you see them as a catalyst for major transformation. That's one way to interpret this. And if you're a spiritual person, which I would assume you are because you're here watching a tarot reading, it's very likely that this is how you perceive them, that this is the interpretation for you. Alternatively, for some of you, this might be a domestic violence situation, or just that maybe it's not like physically violent, but it's mentally violent, abusive, or it's just a toxic relationship. At least, no, I think from both perspectives, it's a quite toxic dynamic between you two. So it might also very well be for some of you that this is how you feel when you think of them, when you see them, whatever, like that you're actually scared of them. You know, take what resonates. It's a pick a card reading, so there's going to be many people watching this. Yeah, and either way, the way you see this relationship is like it's locking you down. It's you're tied up and you feel unable to leave. The thing about this card is that if she could take her blindfolds off, she would see that she's not actually locked in. She could walk out between these swords unharmed, you know, but she can't see that because she's blinded. She's blinded by something. You might be blinded by fear. Maybe you think you're gonna be nothing without them. You're gonna be poor without them. You're scared of the financial repercussion it's gonna have if you leave, so you really feel unable to. Yeah, it's bad mental state to be, for sure, and I really empathize with you. That's hard. The way they see themselves is, like I said already, someone who, like I said, has overcome a lot, but is like beat up, but standing tall. Yeah, I've come a long way, but I'm still standing tall. That's the vibes I'm getting from this. And I just feel like you're both battered and bruised from this relationship. To me, it really looks like you're both perceiving this as a toxic environment to be in, because here it's like, can you please focus? It's like they see you as this person who, no matter how many successes they have in their life, they can't see it. They keep focusing on the negative. They cannot celebrate for shit and are just looking for the next fight. And there's, yeah, because this is their perception of you, and they see you as someone who really likes to argue. They just feel attention from you, a disharmony from you. Just no peace. And so I feel like that really goes both ways. And the way they see this relation, like this relationship gives them sleepless nights, really. I find this the Six of Wands interesting, really, because we're talking about success again here. And it's hard to interpret this, really. It's like maybe they see it as like either this or that, you know. It's like either my worst nightmare or makes me feel successful. It's almost a vibe of like, if it goes bad, it's absolutely fucking miserable, but when it's going good, you're feeling like you're walking the March of Triumph. It's like you feel like the king, you know. So I feel like that's how they see the relationship, is like super high or super down. There's no balanced middle ground. And I mean, that's not surprising. Many toxic relationships are like that. So the biggest strength of this relationship, that's quite interesting. It's almost a vibe of this relationship is only the beginning of a bigger journey. We have 3 major arcanas here too. We have the Fool, which is at the very beginning of the journey. We have the Death, which is somewhere in the middle, towards the end, somewhere in the middle. And then we have the world, which is at the very end. So it's like what's coming to me right now is that this relationship is an opportunity to break some cycle. And if this is how you perceive this relationship because you are a spiritual individual, I can tell you you're right. Absolutely. This is a catalyst for great transformation and growth. Because it's really from the tension that you learn the most about yourself. We grow the most outside our comfort zone. It's uncomfortable to hear that, but it's true. Nowhere you grow as much as outside your comfort zone. When it's all comfortable, you don't learn as much about yourself, and you don't grow as much. It just is what it is. And the Fool is a reminder to stay focused on the path ahead, to stay open-minded. And there's a sense of innocence in the Fool, because they're just not thinking of what challenges might come along the way. They just start their journey because they're excited about it, and like they're not even looking where they're going. They're just taking one step at a time. You know, they're gonna fall here. They're just gonna keep walking. They're not looking, and that's good this way, because if we didn't start any journey with this state of mind, we would never start anything, because we'd be too scared of missteps, mistakes, you know. So I don't know, the greatest strength being this. I just think that this relationship it's an exercise for you to stay open and to not lose that zest for life, that excitement and joy to start something new, to move, to keep moving. You know, it's not like this. You're very stagnant right now because of whatever fear you're having. And I already went into the weakness quite a bit here. You guys are just, there's so much harshness, and you forgot to, this is also major arcana, by the way. Wow. You don't have to force things into being. Things that what's meant to be is meant to be. And this is about being gentle. Gentle and compassionate. It's like the lion is following her lead, not because he has to, not because he's forced to, not because he's scared of her, but because he admires her, because she's kind and soft and gentle with the lion. And you know, you can lead arguments with love and compassion. Even if you're mad, you can still be open to the perspective of someone else. And lead with love, in the sense of, I hear you, I see you. Let's find a solution that works for both of us. And that's not given in your relationship. Instead, there's a lot of deep cuts. Yeah, the advice is quite clear to me. This is the end of a cycle. But also I want to say something about this card, especially since we have the beginning of the cycle here. If you don't heal in this relationship what you're meant to heal, the cycle is just going to repeat itself. Because you can move away from the relationship, but you're just gonna, if you keep in this mindset, you're gonna keep attracting more of what you have right now, because you have to heal yourself. You attract what the vibes that you are sending out, and your soul is gonna draw in more of the same if it feels like you haven't learned what you wanted to learn. You haven't grown in the way that your soul intended to grow. So there are learning opportunities here. There is, I don't know, the learning opportunity to change your mindset no matter how hard the situation might be. Better communication. I don't know what exactly in your specific situation. And also, just so I have said it, if you are in danger, and if this really is like physical violence, you are scared for your life, get out. Then this is the advice for you. This is the end. Get out. You don't have to stay in a situation where you fear for your life. No. Leave. If that's not the case for you, just be aware that there might be more to learn. Just before you leave, make sure that you grew, that you learned something. Feel into yourself. Where are you mentally, emotionally? Are you okay within yourself? And if you leave, are you at peace with leaving or not? Because the way you walk out of this relationship is how you're gonna be available to the world. Right? I really hope this is making sense what I'm saying. I hope I'm not rambling. It's delicate, right? It's a delicate situation, delicate matter, because like if it's really that toxic that you're in danger, then it's a different situation, you know. And no one is ever forcing you to stay somewhere you're not happy. I just feel like a shift of perspective might be necessary, because it's always your choice. You can always leave. It will be hard, maybe. That doesn't mean it's impossible. And there's always a solution to everything, no matter how hard it seems. So I think that's really an opportunity for you to shift, to practice shifting your perspective no matter the circumstances. And as far as your relationship goes, I can just see that there's a lot of fights, a lot of tension, and we're gonna pull some oracle cards, you know, maybe those will give us more insights, like more specific advice on what you can do, the two of you. But the overall advice is that this is about certain cycles coming to an end. Hell, maybe you're breaking like family cycles, generational traumas, you know, but that's a whole other subject. Anyway, let's get some oracle cards. Okay, some relationship advice for pile 2. They're really going through it right now. They need some clarity, some good, clear advice. Yes, I see you. Okay, passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Find passion to focus on, something you're passionate about that distracts you from these feelings. The better you feel, the more confidently you can move. And by the way, this is really not, this is not a pretty deck. So if you know any really good relationship decks, feel free to tell me in the comments, to suggest some, to make some recommendations. I always love to get new decks. I really like the statement, like the way they are written. It's quite clear. Playfulness, also a card that showed up in pile 1. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. Yes. And that actually makes a lot of sense looking at these. It's like they really see you as someone who can't have fun, who's just looking for the next fight. And you know, we all have our own perspectives, we all have our own subjects, but our relationships, our partners are our directest mirrors right after children. So there's probably something to it, and there is a great growing opportunity here for you. Find joy, find your joy again. Like somehow it's like you're stuck in your ways a little bit here. Okay. Free yourself. Another card that showed up in pile 1. I think there might be really something there for you. It's time to take back control of your life. It's not out of your hands. That's so funny. Right next to each other. Wow. You are not the victim of your circumstances. Everything that happens in your life happens for you, not to you. So if there's something you don't like, change it. If you're uncomfortable, feel into what you can change, how you can improve. Reflect how you are showing up in this relationship. Not just them, not just everything they're doing wrong. Like if you want to improve the relationship, the only way to really do it is, well, first communication. But if that's not working, focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. Focus on what makes you happy. Just do your own thing. Just grow. Do the work for yourself. And they will either follow or they'll fall away because you're so at peace with yourself that it won't matter anymore. And it had a similar message in pile 1, by the way. Deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. Okay. Oh my God. This is how they perceive themselves, and there's deception here. False self mask. That is crazy, pile 2. Wow. So they're really not seeing themselves clearly, huh? Unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. And right next to how they see you. Wow. This is also, oh, that's crazy. This is also aligned with each other. Finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now, and we are seeing that here. Yeah. Yeah, okay, wow. That's insane. This is so cool. And then on top, we are gonna pick some tea leaf cards. My rule for those, by the way, is only the ones that turn around are being taken, because they're very slippery, just so you're not surprised. Okay, for pile two's relationship, what's important to know here? Okay. Oh, okay. July. The month of July is in some way significant to you. Maybe it's your birthday or their birthday. Maybe that's when you guys met, got together. Something else significant happened, birth of a child. Or it might be a future time frame, although that's always to be taken with a grain of salt, because everything you see on this table is a mere potential based on your energy right now as you watch this video. Yeah, July, something to keep in mind. Dagger. Fear, worries, tense situations. I mean, yeah, duh. I saw that without this tea leaf card. Parrot. Someone will gossip about all your secrets. Yeah, so this is just a warning that the repercussion of leaving could be that they will talk shit about you and that they will air their dirty laundry out in public because they're really not who you thought they were. And they're gonna show, they're gonna show their true colors, which is an ugly face, when you break up with them. I'm getting almost like narcissistic vibes here, to be honest, because they have like this this view of themselves like, oh, I've overcome so much and I've come so far, and they're just looking for the next fight all the time, blah 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 blah. It's almost like they feel above you a little bit, and it's like I was like, why do they see? Oh my god. Okay. They see you miserable and it makes them feel better about themselves. It makes them feel successful. This is what this is. Because this is how they see the relationship. And they see you crying. They see you in pain and agony, you know, fear, worries. And putting you down is making them feel more successful about themselves and about their own life. Ugh. Wow. Pile 2. You really deserve better. And now at this point in the reading, I really just want to tell you to get the fuck out of there. Like, this is, yeah. But you know, you have to do that in your own time, because it's when you realize that you deserve better when you can actually move forward. You have to decide that you don't deserve this. You have to love yourself enough to leave. So this is not something that can be forced. So I will not put that pressure on you. It's really on you. And wherever you are right now in the journey is okay. So we have March too. We have March and July now. So we're gonna Maybe it's like something between March and July. It could be a time frame of some significance. March, April, May, June, 4 months, a 4-month period. Forest, muddled, unclear thinking. Okay. Well, I hope this cleared it up for you, dear pile 2. I think I laid out to you pretty clearly what kind of person you're dealing with. Your higher self has given you very clear advice here. We're gonna read it again. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. And you know, whether you stay or leave, that applies. And don't do it for your relationship, do it for yourself, so you can, for the next relationship, attract something that is more aligned with what you actually want and deserve. But like I said, you have to decide you deserve it. If you don't think you deserve it, if you don't think you're worthy of it, this is going to keep coming to you. So free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. The financial issues are a factor in your love life, but they do not. There's always a way. You can always find some job. There's always some way. I cannot give you the way right now. This is a relationship reading. Maybe another time there will be another reading where I can give you clarity on how to get there. You can also reach out to me for a personal reading. I'm available for that if you want to, you know, if you have the means to. Just so I've said that. Someone is wearing a false self mask, and there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. Move on. Really, like, that's the essence of this. Like, I feel like there's no love lost anymore between you two. I don't see anything that indicates any fond feelings, I don't see any passion. I don't see any fondness whatsoever. Only when it comes to yourself. You have to ignite your own passion again. You have to find your passion. You have to play, have fun. Take care of yourself, my dear sweet angel. Take care of yourself. Be good to yourself, and just see that you deserve to be loved. You deserve so much more than what you're getting right now. And I think it's time to go. But like I said, don't let me pressure you. It's all good. It's all in divine time. Whenever you do leave is the right time. You can't go wrong there, because there's always something to learn and to grow from. When it's enough, when you've had enough, you will go. Just make sure to focus on yourself, to heal yourself in order to attract something that is more aligned with what you deserve. Yeah, so pile 2, that was your reading. Thank you so much for being here, for taking the time to listen to this. I'm very happy you found your way here, because I feel like this might give you the confirmation you were seeking, because you were not, didn't see the forest for the trees. And I hope this gave you clarity. I'm sending you all my love and all my light. Not all of it. I need my own light, but I'm sending you love and light. You will find your way. I know that. I believe in you. You can always contact me for personal readings, like I said already. My email address is in the channel and video description. like, subscribe. I can use all the support that I can get. And most importantly, please leave a comment. That is the best thing ever. I love it. It's my favorite thing about this job. Hearing from you guys, hearing your feedback, hearing what you're going through, hearing if it resonated or not. Any feedback, really. Even if there's something you didn't like, just let me know all of it. All sorts of engagement, all sorts of interaction really means the world to me. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you. I hope to see you again here. Love and blessings. Mwah. Bye-bye. Hello, beautiful people of Pile 3. Thank you so much for being here. And welcome to your reading. Beautiful day to be alive. I apologize in advance for any sounds you might be hearing in the background. I'm running my dishwasher. I have the window open. The birds are chirping. Maybe you'll hear a door slam shut or some cars drive by. But you know, we're all human and living the human experience. So with no further ado, let's get started. We're going to take a deep dive into your relationship, and we're going to draw 9 tarot cards for this purpose. And afterwards, a few oracle cards to give us some more insight, some more advice. But first and foremost, let me shuffle the tarot cards for you. And I just want to tell you ahead of time, if the shuffling process bores the hell out of you, like me sometimes, feel free to just skip it, to fast forward. I still do it for the people who like to see it. I have never seen anyone complain about it in my comments, so I'm just going to keep doing it. But yeah, it's always your right to just skip ahead with no guilty conscience. Let's get started. First, we're gonna pull a card for how you see yourself in this relationship, what you think is your role in this relationship. Pile 3. Okay. And then how you see them. How you perceive your partner, how you think your partner is showing up in this relationship. 2 cards, nice. Well, let's see card by card. For you in this relationship was 10 of Cups in reversed. Which, I don't know if this is pointing to disrupted family life or just a cycle coming to an end in terms of family life. We'll dive deeper. What do I have here? We'll dive deeper into it as we go on with the reading, but how you view them is someone disconnected from their intuition, because this is the High Priestess in reverse, and someone who is very strategical. So I'm getting the vibe of, I'm getting the vibe of more logic based, more in the head and not connected to intuition. And this is Aries, by the way, Aries card. Then how you see the relationship. How do you view this? The Hanged One. Surrender. Having to let go of control. Next up, we pull a card for them, how they see themselves in this relationship, what they think their role is, how do they see themselves? How do they view themselves? The Page of Cups. Someone who may be inexperienced with all things emotions, but is pure-hearted and well-intentioned. Can also indicate being freshly in love. Maybe this relationship is new, maybe not. Here, this makes me think it's not. Here, this makes me think it might be. We'll see as this continues. How do they see you? Got the Eight of Wands in reversed. As someone who moves slowly, who takes their time, who doesn't like to rush things. How do they see the relationship? I'm getting an idea here, like just something just hit me, and this might resonate for just some of you, maybe not all of you. This is a pick a card reading after all, so just take what resonates, leave the rest. But for me, I just got the feeling that you see yourself as someone who's just not ready for that family life we see here, just not ready for it, and they're very much in love with you though, and they feel like it's not moving fast enough. That's the vibe I'm getting here. So how do they see the relationship? Five of Swords, giving them a headache. No, the Five of Swords, this is just, I always think of a headache when I see the card in this deck. You know, you pick this deck for a reason. There's always going to be slightly different messages coming out depending on what tarot deck we work with. And the Five of Swords talks about picking your battles, and like you might have won the battle, but at what cost, right? So it's about cutting your losses too, and just like being aware that while you might temporarily feel like you succeeded because you won an argument or something, you have to be aware of the effect that it will have on your loved one, and that in the grand scheme of things, you can't win a fight with someone you love. So yeah, we'll get deeper into what that might mean. I just want to get all the tarot cards out first. Number one, strength. What is the biggest strength of this relationship? Cards come out really easily today. That's so nice. We have Eight of Cups and Six of Wands in reversed. Just take a look at the cards real quick. But the fact that these come out reversed in the strength is quite a strange occurrence. So I'm going to have to think about this a little bit deeper. So we're going to move on to the next position. Number one, weakness. What is the main weakness of this relationship? Eight of Swords in reversed. Having a distorted self-image, distorted view of self, not seeing things the way they really are. We have already a couple cards that are similar to pile two, so if you felt inclined to watch that pile, go on and do so. There were very, very specific messages there, though, so I don't know. It will if it will resonate. That's just if you felt drawn to more than one pile, you might want to check that one out. Yeah, feeling like you can't move on and you're tied up, when in reality it's not really like that. It's just how you perceive things. What is this? 8 of Pentacles. Interesting. We'll see if this shows up again. Then advice. Advice for you and your relationship. Some relationship advice for pile 3. We have death, rebirth in reversed. And 10 of Wands in reverse. Okay, this is very interesting. Death was showing up in pile 2 as well. I'm just gonna point that out here. So, a lot to unpack here. So yeah, like I said, I mean, I already told you that I have the vibes that you are not ready for something, maybe to take the next step, move in together, have kids together, and it's not moving fast enough for them. They have strong feelings for you. Maybe they're not the most experienced in long-term committed relationships, but they mean very well. They have good intentions, strong feelings for you, feeling quite fond about you, or quite emotional about you. You give them the flutters, and they feel like a lucky pig to have you. That's how they see themselves in this relationship. A sense of innocence too, maybe naivete as well. And I get the sense here from how you perceive them that you wish they were more connected to spirit, maybe more on a spiritual path, and leading with intuition more, but instead they're leading in this very strategic, maybe sometimes seemingly calculated way. They're very passionate. They're a strong leader type from your perspective. Like I said, Aries sign, Aries vibes are dominant, passionate, free-spirited, stubborn, and just they're the leaders of their own life. They've got this, you know. They will not accept anyone telling them what to do and how to do it. And yeah, they have a strategy in place for their goals, which is admirable, really. And this is not upside down, so I feel like you might even admire this ability about them. You know, that all those strengths that I just listed, you might admire them, but you just feel like your partner is lacking in this department, in the spiritual aspect of their life. You are here watching a tarot reading after all, so I'm assuming you consider yourself to be on a spiritual path. So you might be longing for someone who is on a similar path. And it looks like you don't perceive them to be someone like that. And the way you see the relationship is just like having to surrender to the process. Sorry, I just had like a thought pop into my head that also it might be that you have a family with this person, but you're not happy with the family dynamic. You don't feel like this is you don't feel like this is it. You don't feel like this is what a fulfilled family life is supposed to feel like. Because there's just not enough shared interests. Or like I said, you're just not on the same path. So while there is love, you might not be fulfilled by it. So you just surrender because I'm sorry if I go quiet. Sometimes like I'm speaking and then just pop, a thought about the next card position just slaps into my head and I have to sort my thoughts again. Yeah, you're surrendering. You see that you have to surrender to the process because I mean you're not leaving, right? You're still in this relationship, and I see here in the strength that the Eight of Cups is reversed. Here we're walking away from something that no longer serves us, turning our back on what's lost towards brighter horizons. And this is reversed. So I feel like the strength of this relationship is the main strength of this relationship is that it teaches you not to walk away so quickly, to work on things. And like improve your confidence. You're improving your confidence here. So Six of Wands upright speaks about success, showing on the outside, being celebrated by the outside world and basking in the limelight, just your time to shine, right? You've earned this. And reverse, it can indicate success that you maybe don't share with the world. It's more your internal world that you're working on. And I get the sense that this relationship is strengthening your ability to thrive internally, even if it might be something you want to walk away from. This relationship, you're learning how to grow, how to how to not walk away so quickly when it gets hard, because especially if you have kids together, that's kind of like glue, right? You don't turn your back on it so quickly, even if it doesn't completely fulfill you anymore. And that's not a bad thing, because I think when the time is here, you will know. But for now, this is actually a strength, because you get to grow a lot, which we have the Death card here in the advice, which talks about major transformation, but we'll get to that in a minute. That's major arcana. And we actually have 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana cards here. So this relationship is a big step in your spiritual growth. It's like a very like, what's the word I'm looking for? A catalyst for immense spiritual transformation. It's really transforming your life, because moving forward, you're gonna approach relationships and making decisions in your life very differently. The weakness of this relationship is that you feel trapped. There's a feeling of being trapped, and this being reversed is like you're being fixated on that idea that you can't leave and that you're trapped. But that's a distorted image. It's not true. It's always your decision to leave. No matter the circumstances, no matter if you have children together or not, there's always a solution to leave when you no longer feel fulfilled. But yeah, that's the weakness of this relationship, that your hyper fixation on feeling trapped. I do want to say though that I don't get the vibes that there's anything like toxic going on in this relationship. I just see here that they feel like they can't win with you. Yeah, they feel like they can't win with you because I think they know on some level they're not what you are longing for. And they can't change who they are for you, right? They are who they are, and they feel very purely about you. They do have a lot of love for you, but they just feel like they're just constantly losing with you. While you just surrender to the process, try to let go of control, and yeah, let the lessons come to you, and try to take it as it comes. So advice. The advice here is, death in reverse is almost like I want to say give in, again, surrender to give in to the process, but it looks like you're already at least attempting to do that. But there seems to be resistance, or like you seem to be scared of the change still. It's still scaring you. The change is scaring you. The potential death of this relationship is scaring you, because what's on the other side of this is unknown, right? You can only daydream about it, but you don't know what's actually going to happen. There's obviously going to be challenges here. Uphill battle, a lot of load to carry. This is actually reminds me of someone who is moving out and moving on. You know, packing their bags and leaving. It's upside down. So I feel like you're scared of that change and what it brings, and scared that it's gonna be too challenging. So, but the advice is that it's interesting because, again, this is a different deck, right? This is the Lightseer's Tarot, and in most tarot cards in the Ten of Wands, the person is alone. And it actually speaks about carrying a load by yourself and being strong enough to do so. But in this deck, it's a little bit different. We have a helper here that helps carry the load. And it just always serves as a reminder for me that you're not alone in this, and you're going to receive help, and you have people in your life that will help you carry the load and that will help you move on. Yeah, and it's also, we have the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Wands. It just speaks to the end of reaching the end of something, reaching the end of a cycle. You're not quite there yet. We have a lot of reversed cards, which implicates resistance to me. Which is because of that fear you have. Because of that fear you're having, you are not ready to move on yet. And that's fine, you know, all in due time. You will feel in your core when the right moment is here. And maybe, you know, there's still good lessons to learn here. You can still learn a lot from this person. Because especially when you're opposite of each other, you get to learn a lot from each other. And I think you know that this person has been a great mirror for you, has been great at holding you accountable. It just made you learn and understand a lot of things that it wouldn't have been possible without them. So there might still be more of that, you know. So the main advice right now, before I pull the oracle cards, is to stop seeing yourself as this bird in a golden cage. To see this union as the blessing it is, while it lasts. To stop focusing on that negative feeling you have. Shift your focus. Shift your focus on your inside world and the success you keep having working on yourself, improving yourself, and just how far you've come in your personal development. And that there's more of that to achieve. Okay, let's see what the oracle cards have to say for you. I'm gonna pull some of these romance angel, I can't speak anymore, I'm sorry. Romance angels cards. I find them ugly as hell, but they're a really good deck. If you know a good relationship deck, as good as this one with the messages that have come out, please do leave me a recommendation in the comments. I always love getting new decks that I love looking at. So, relationship advice for pile 3. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. Okay. Playfulness. Another thing that showed up in pile 2. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. Exactly, because you're like so caught up in this feeling that you forget to have fun. And especially if you have a child, like let them inspire you to join them in their childlike spirit. Let them infect you with that zest for life. Because that's always the best advice you can give anyone in any situation. Focus on yourself and focus on having fun, and the rest of your life will improve immensely because you're raising your vibration and more blessings can come your way because you attract them. Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. Okay, this is crazy. This is the third time in a row that this card shows up. All three piles. What's going on today? All of you are feeling trapped, you know? All of you are feeling trapped in a way. So I could imagine that most of you feel drawn to more than one pile because the energy seems to be a very similar one. Like, it seems to be a, I don't want to say global, but it's a shared vibe that my followers have going on here. Interesting. Again, oh my god, all the same cards all the time. Passion, allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. It's just crazy at this point. Let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. We talked about that here. So maybe that's what this was about. Maybe you think like, maybe you feel like you have to do it all on your own. And this is emphasizing, further confirming this card. Let the people around you help you. You're not alone in this. Accept the support they want to offer you. Heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah. If you have such different ideas of how you want to lead your life and they feel like they can't win with you, just giving them a headache, if you haven't done so, it's time to be open with each other, to be honest with each other, and for you to let them off the hook, kind of like let them know how you're feeling. Also, that they're not wrong the way they are, that maybe it's just, you know, just because this is not exactly what you're looking for doesn't mean that they're wrong the way they are, that they're not good enough. It's just that we have different desires, right? And to me, I must say, with the free yourself, let your friends help you, heart-to-heart conversations, a refusal to let a cycle come. There's a refusal to let a cycle come to its end. And to me, all signs so far point towards do it. Of course, I'm never gonna be the person to tell you it's time to leave now, because you can't pressure someone to do anything, and you shouldn't, because everyone has their own time, and whenever you do want to leave is the right time. You can't miss out on anything, you can't miss anything that was meant for you. And now this gardening machine is really driving me insane, so I'm gonna close the door. Okay. Yeah, I will never be the person to tell you now is the time, now or never, because with pressure, only more stress gets created. And that's just not how it works. Butterfly, a change for the better. A confirmation, my love, that change that you're fearing will be for the better. I have a rule for tea leaf cards. Only the one that turn around will be counted because they're so slippery. Dolphin, financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past. Interesting. Okay. I have no idea what that's about, but feel into it. Maybe you invested in something in the past. Maybe you have a savings account. I don't know what that could be, really. There's going to be some sort of financial gain. You see what I mean? They come out like crazy. Weeping willow, family sorrow. Yeah, I can see that here. And I think that's something you're scared of, right? To cause pain in your family. And you know, that's inevitable when you break up a family. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Obstacles to overcome. Hills. Forest modeled on clear thinking. You know, can't see the forest for the trees. A few last ones. And all these cards that come out here on this table, they're always based on your current energy, the energy you come here with, right? Nothing that you ever see. This is just crazy. We're not doing this, but this one came out. Everything you see on my table, it's not set in stone. It's just a mere potential based on your energy that you came here with today. I just want you to know that. And oftentimes it just shows the feelings you have, the fears you have. Last shuffle. Okay, we're good. Sun, happiness and well-being. Yeah. Okay. All right. We're gonna do it like this and this. You know, it's all a mess at this point anyway, but who cares? Yeah, so, I mean, all those fears that you have are valid. Obviously, there's going to be family sorrow. Obviously, there's going to be obstacles to overcome, but the change will be for the better. The butterfly is, again, about transformation. And, you know, how the butterfly goes through death and rebirth, actually, that they're connected. They're disintegrating in their cocoon to become this butterfly, to become something new. It can't be a pleasant process for the caterpillar, but they come out so beautiful and so much stronger, so much more mobile, more dynamic, and there's just honestly happiness and well-being on your horizon once you've overcome those obstacles. Yeah, I can tell you that there's nothing to be afraid of, because you have everything you need to overcome those obstacles. You have a good support system, and so the only thing that I can advise you to do right now is to really focus on yourself, to focus on sorry, yawning, release. Focus on what makes you joyful, what makes you happy, what be playful. If you have children, play with your child. If you have a dog or, you know, pets, play with them. Go outside, have fun, be youthful. Even if you don't have children, have that childlike attitude to life, which is actually very much the sun vibes for me. You know, the sun card in tarot usually shows a naked boy riding a white horse, waving a red flag. And it's so youthful and innocent, and, you know, the pure joy of a child. It's pure, it's happiness in its purest form. And finding that playfulness in everyday life will also help you when you go through the challenges that arise after you move on from this relationship, because you'll still find these little glimpses, these little moments of playfulness and joy and fun and passion. Follow your passions, focus on your passions. There just needs to be a shift of focus. You're stuck because you feel stuck. You can't see clearly. So just focus on yourself for a while. If the thought of moving on from this relationship right now is just overwhelming you, don't focus on it. Don't think about it. Think of something else. Distract yourself. Focus on yourself. Get in tune with yourself. Listen to what you need on a day-to-day basis. Time to take control back of your life. Do what you want to do. You get the gist, right? And I think you're on a good path here. You know, the way you see the relationship is having to surrender. And you're right. You're right, and you're doing a good job, Miss Sweet Soul. You're doing great already. And I feel like you're getting there, you know? I don't see toxicity in your life. I don't see great sorrow in your life, which I'm very, very happy to see. Pile 2 was a rough one. And you're gaining confidence in you're gaining confidence. Continue to do so. You're on a great path here. If you keep doing that and you learn to release that fear and you lean into the other people in your life that love you and support you, you'll be fine. Yeah. I think that's all the messages I have for you today, Pile 3. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope that you got something that helps you from this reading. Let me know in the comments what your takeaway is. Let me know what you're going through, your experience, if it resonated. That's honestly my favorite part about this job, is just to hear from you guys and get the feedback and to have that exchange. It really means the world to me. I love to read you guys' comments. And if you liked this, like the video, hit subscribe, support a baby YouTube channel. I can use all the support I can get. And if you ever feel like you want to do a personal reading with me, I'm available for that at the moment. So you can contact me by email. You can find the email address in the channel and video description. But of course, no pressure, only if you feel the need to and you have the means to. I'm there. And I thank you very much for your time, for your patience, for your trust, just for being here. I hope to see you around again. Love and light. Bye.